up your cross, my friends, and follow him. Take it up now and follow.
Yeah.
Lay down your burden and follow.
Take it and follow. Pick up your cross and follow me.
Confess your sins now and follow.
Yeah. 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock. That is the time. Good Monday morning to each and every one of you. Good morning, Catherine Phillip. You beat them to it this morning. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Innocent. Happy new week. Catherine, morning. You up, girl. Up and ready. Yeah.
Take up your cross, my friends, and follow.
Before we go any further, I want to say happy birthday to a dear friend of mine, Mr. Lindsay Farray. Out there in Beauregard, in St. Andrew, Birchgrove to be precise. How you do, bro?
So take up your cross, my friends.
We getting aged, eh? You're surprised you didn't know that would happen to us? Your beard getting white. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday to you from all your students, your co-workers, and most importantly, your family and friends. Wishing you all the best today. Take the day off. Cook get some dashing and thing and make a serious oil long and invite me. When the pot come down, call me, alright? Happy birthday, bro. Keep on living. Yeah. Blessings. Morning, Alpha. Milton Coy says good morning. Oh my goodness, so happy to be alive on this wonderful Monday. I had a peek on the outside just a while ago while the obituaries were going on, and I look to the extreme south of the island. It's really overcast. I'd like to hear what the weather forecast is like for today. Seems like we're gonna have some rain, but then this is the season for it, okay? So always be prepared. Walk with your umbrellas or your raincoat or whatever. For those of you who still live in the areas where you know there's a lot of mud, all right, walk with an extra shoes, so that when you walk down to the main road, you can change, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you pray for the rain, you gotta learn to deal with the mud. You understand what I'm saying? Good. Want to say good morning to the folks inside of Mount Agnes in St. Andrew, Pomrose area. Morning. Yeah, Chan and the guys. Reggie, not Reggie, no, Kitty. And Eggies and the boys. I gotta give my all fours on Saturday, boy. I get a little whooping because I was playing with a nobody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Desmond Clovey says good morning, new week, everyone. Good morning, Desmond. Folks, it's 25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Let's get with the program. And it's time for the word of the day. Today it is a noun. And let me spell the word for you first, and then you will see how technical it is. That is why every now and then I have little mispronunciations, because some words, you know what I'm saying, man? Good morning to everyone. I was about to call a name, but you know what? I am not going there. Good morning. Consiglerie. How do you think we pronounce this word? Well, it is conciliary. And a conciliary refers to a trusted advisor or counselor. Originally, a conciliary specifically served the leader of a criminal organization such as the mafia, but others likened to such an advisor are now sometimes called conciliaries also. Alright, so conciliary, that's the word for the day. Consiglerie. It is a noun. Write it down, learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it, learn its meaning, learn how to use it in your sentences. Here's how we can use it. Largely unknown to the general public, she was nonetheless a powerful Washington figure who served as the Senate leader's trusted conciliary and a political strategist. Yeah. She's a brilliant mind. She's someone like Mr. Richard Duncan. Good morning to you, Mr. Duncan. How are you this morning? Good morning to you and your family, a humble gentleman. Yeah. Laced with humility. Good morning, bro. All right, let's get to Nadisha's part of the day, the thought of the day. And the thought of the day today is definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Again, let me reiterate this. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. And that is your thought of the day. Knowing what you want to do and getting it done. Yeah, you're definite on this. This is where I'm going. This is what I want to do, and I am going to get it done. That's where that's the starting point for all your achievements. So good morning to you, Nadisha and the family, all the folks, the wonderful folks inside of Cafe in St. Andrew. Kroshu, good morning also. Saying good morning, special good morning to you, Nakita, and your significant other, Ryan. How you doing? The entire household, morning. Yep. What's buzzing this morning? Well, this morning, I don't know if we'll have much of a conversation, interactive conversation, because we've got two sets of guests this morning. We'll be having some folks from the SDA mission, yeah, and also it's the commencement. Well, Law Week is in progress, and this morning I'll be joined by my humble servant, Mr. Derick Sylvester, the president of the Grenada Bar Association, and his deputy, Mr. Paul. Yeah, so we'll be having two conversations this morning. So I am not certain what amount of time we'll have to continue with our dialogue as we, interactive segment. But nonetheless, we look forward to the engagements as always. Yeah, we always do look forward to the engagements. It's 20 minutes on to 7 o'clock. What else is buzzing? Of course, the Maggie King of the Grill is coming up on the 29th of July at the Manu Rouge playing field. It starts at 12 noon and climaxes with a live show, performances from Grenada's top local artists. All right, make it a must. A lot of eats and drinks. All the grillers and so forth are preparing themselves. I know the reigning grill master is preparing to give you a shock of your life as it relates to his barbecuing prowess. All right, we look forward to that. Also buzzing, well, the Spice Mass Corporation, the 2023 calendar of events is out. Get yourself acquainted with it. Those of you out there in the diaspora, get acquainted with it so that you can make your travel arrangements if you haven't done so as yet. All right. Also buzzing is as Grenada prepares to celebrate the 50th anniversary of CARICOM, that's on July 4th. That is a special day for me. That's Casey's birthday. That's my son's birthday. So Casey, your birthday is now a national holiday. I knew you had greatness, Yeah, good morning to you and your family out there in England. And good morning to your mom for making a wonderful boy like this. Okay, so what's happening is that on tonight's Beyond the Headlines, okay, we'll examine the regional institutions, its functions and benefits. So join the discussion from just around 8:30 p.m. The guest would be Mr. Ali Gale and Mr. Aaron Moses, and that will be hosted by our dear Colin Dow. Yeah, the Honorable Colin Dow, honorable gentleman. So look forward to that. Also buzzing, we hear that Rose Hill St. Patrick resident Jaheim George, he made his first court appearance on a non-capital murder charge. That was on Friday. He was arrested and charged by the police in connection with the country's 11th homicide, the stabbing death of 22-year-old Riverside resident Rickelson Toussaint. All right, well, boy, if you commit a crime, be prepared to deal with the time, okay? All right, the move to revamp the Marketing and National Importing Board is a bit delayed as the committee mandated with the task lost one of its members. All right, do what all you're doing, but just make sure that the new version of the Marketing and National Importing Board serves its real core purpose, all right? Making life easier for farmers. Let the MNIB be a place just for, dropping off. The farmers will plant and produce and rear the livestock, and you deal with it, the disbursement of it, dispersing of it. Good, right, nice. Also buzzing, the GUT president has spoken out against what he described as the Ministry of Education's high-handed approach to the implementing of multi-grade teaching in schools. Yeah, Mr. Jude Bartholomew, he got on, boy. He's very voicey for us, he talks. He likes to come to the fore and say what's on his mind as he represents his people. All right, also buzzing, Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says that to tackle the unemployment and underemployment issue in Grenada, we will first have to revolutionize various sectors of Grenada's economy. That's also buzzing. And what else? All right, the Ministry of Education has identified a need for more technical and vocational skills training. However, it isn't to target those who are not academically inclined. Those are the stories buzzing, but it's time for us to take that break because we have the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather here on Classic. Those of you on the television platform, we've got the repeat broadcast of Friday evening's television news. So quickly before we run off, let me see what's happening on our Facebook page. Lydia Cameron says, good morning, Innocent. Blessed Monday. Same to you. Alpheus Duncan, good morning. SVG is in the house. SVG, good morning. All right, how is Sean C this morning? All right, also Rochelle is saying good morning, Grenada. Innocent, good blessed morning. Paula Paul, good morning, Mr. Innocent and my Grenada people. Great rising. Hope everyone have a blessed and productive day. Same to you, Paula Paul. Mary Ebank says good morning. Marilyn Gordon, good morning, everyone. Morning, Gordon. Blessed Monday. Folks, we've got to take that break, so stick and stay with us. We've got the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather coming up. See you on the flip side of 7.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Evening, this is GBN News at 7. Grenada and its dependencies are not under any tropical storm watch or warning, as tropical storms Cindy and Brett pose no threats to the country. The Meteorological Office at the Morris Bishop International Airport informed the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, that convection has diminished from earlier as Brett moves into the eastern Caribbean, but scattered showers and thunderstorms persist within 90 nautical miles of the center of Brett. Forecaster Tricia Miller gives us the latest weather update.
Okay, good evening to you viewers of GBN. So just to give you an update on Tropical Storm Brett, at 5 p.m. this evening, the center of Brett was located at approximately 13.1 degrees north, 66.6 degrees west, which is approximately 170 miles east-northeast of Curacao, or just over the eastern Caribbean Sea. And it's currently losing strength. However, there is still some lingering rain and gusty winds associated with the system over our area. And this is forecast to continue into tonight into tomorrow morning, but improve after that tomorrow morning. Right now, maximum sustained winds are at 50 miles per hour, and the present movement is west. And on this forecast track, Brett is expected to continue to move across the eastern and central Caribbean Sea and weaken within the next couple of days and then dissipate just about Sunday. So as mentioned before, for us here in Grenada, we still expect some lingering rain and gusty winds, but that's expected to improve by tomorrow morning. From the Met Office, this is Trisha Miller.
Rose Hill St. Patrick resident Jaheim George made his first appearance in court on a non-capital murder charge on Friday. He was arrested and charged by police in connection with the country's 11th homicide, the stabbing death of 22-year-old River Sally resident Allison Toussaint. Details in this Nisha Paul report.
Jaheim George, also known as Nurse, a construction worker of St. Patrick, appeared for the first time on a non-capital murder charge before Magistrate Nevelyn John at the Sates Magistrates Court on Friday. Attorney Peter David is assisting him in the matter, which stems from a stabbing incident that resulted in the death of 22-year-old Allison Toussaint. Toussaint was rushed to the Princess Alice Hospital at Marybow in St. Andrew for treatment after being stabbed in the upper chest area with a knife. He succumbed to his injury just after 3 p.m. on Tuesday. The fatal stabbing occurred meters away from the Sates police station near a popular supermarket on Main Street. A video began circulating on social media shortly after the incident, showing the chest of the now deceased man covered in blood. According to the Royal Grenada Police Force, an autopsy has been scheduled to determine the actual cause of death. Sources told GBN that the murder accused and the deceased are known to have been at loggerheads and have inflicted wounds on each other in the past. Murder accused George has been remanded to the Richmond Hill prison and is scheduled to reappear in court on July 10th. Non-capital murder is an indictable offense punishable by a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. It is not bailable at the level of the magistrate's court, but applications can be made before a high court judge who has the power to grant bail for indictable offenses. It is unclear at this time whether Attorney David will be seeking bail for his client in the high court. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
The move to revamp the Marketing and National Reporting Board is a bit delayed as the committee mandated with the task lost one of its members. Bonaparte Thomas has this story.
A new chairperson has been appointed to the technical committee dedicated to revamping the Marketing and National Importing Board as its former chairman, George Harford, passed away. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, in a recent interview, said the revamping of the MNIB experienced a setback as a new chairman was being sought.
Technical working group that is committed to looking at the revamping of the MNIB. Regrettably, the chairman of that group, Mr. George Harford, passed away suddenly. So that set us back a little because we've had to reconstitute and have a new chair. Cabinet recently appointed a new chair and an additional member. So we expect that going forward things will galvanize and we'll be in a position to recommence the work of the technical working group.
The cash-strapped MNIB was downsized in February this year after poor management was identified as the leading cause of the state-owned entity's financial woes. According to the NDC administration, the conclusion was reached after a review of some of the MNIB's financial and operational reports, as well as independent auditors' finding. Prime Minister Mitchell says government has had no request to pay salaries for MNIB's employees since it was downsized.
We expect that we would have from the traditional MNIB an update as to how it's been able to manage the scaled-down operations. I can tell you there's been no request for payment of salaries from the government.
Which is good.
And yes, and at the same time, we would obviously be updating the public as to the work of the technical working group and where we are with that. But as I said, because of Mr. Harford's untimely and unfortunate passing, that has delayed us a bit. Because what happened is that after he took up the position, obviously he fell ill, and that delayed us. We were sort of waiting to see what the situation would be.
Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
In more news, the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers has spoken out against what he described as the Ministry of Education's high-handed approach to implementing multi-grade teaching in schools. Nisha Paul has the details.
President of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, raised concern over the Ministry of Education's approach to multigrade teaching during a recent interview with GBN News. Multigrade teaching refers to the teaching of students of different ages, grades, and abilities in the same group. Bartholomew is of the view that without the necessary preparation, multigrade teaching will put a lot of pressure on students and teachers alike.
It's a skill and you must train, you must prepare your teachers for that. Because you're talking about the merger of two classes, let's say for example a grade 3 and a grade 4, or grade 2 and a grade 3. You're talking about different curriculum coverage here. And one teacher in a class, all right, doing in terms of teaching both 3 and 4, grade 3 and 4, or 2 and 3, or whatever, 5 and 6 together collectively, that must create problems. And what the Ministry of Education will be doing there is putting the school, putting the principal, putting teachers under a lot of pressure.
The GUT president said to add insult to injury, there has been no official communication from the Ministry of Education, and this is becoming very problematic.
Principals are complaining about a WhatsApp message from DU. So in other words, the paper trail and the documents are not there. All right, so we also calling on principals to be very careful. When the Ministry of Education or any DU asks you to do those things, you must have official government or Ministry of Education letterhead so you can trace it back.
The union, Bartholomew added, is not going to sit idly by as the ministry's approach to multigrade teaching also threatens teachers' jobs.
So we are calling on the Minister for Education to really be reasonable, because what you're seeing there are a lot of things that would be a grievance and some problems to teachers. And yes, teachers are satisfied with some of the things that the government are already doing in terms of paying the pension and doing other things. But the Grenada Union of Teachers, as I said, don't play with teachers and underestimate our teachers. And if the teachers are not happy, teachers are a group of persons that are sometimes very easy to turn. And so I think that there is a grievance, there are some misunderstanding there, and the Ministry of Education has to really and truly do better than that and treat the Grenada Union of Teachers with some more respect.
GBN reached out to Education Minister David Andrew, who explains that multigrade teaching is being considered as a response to decreasing school population in some schools on the island.
In relation to the multigrade teaching and the supposition being banted around that people have been mandated to do that, I am not aware that that has happened. In fact, what I know has happened is that in a response to decreasing numbers and decreasing school populations in some primary schools, ministry officials asked principals and school officials to consider multigrading or multigrade teaching as a solution.
Minister Andrew explained that several schools have been engaged in multigrade teaching over the last 7 years.
So this is merely, it's principally an attempt to find a solution to declining numbers in some of the schools. And rest assured, it's not being imposed, but the ministry is prepared to offer training to the teachers. And in fact, we are aware that the differentiated instruction and the multigrade teaching will require is something that they are familiar with in some part, but we are aware that it's going to take a bit more challenge, and we are prepared to offer them the training. So,
okay. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell says that to tackle the unemployment and underemployment issues in Grenada, we will first have to revolutionize various sectors on the island. Details in this report.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell says a lack of skills training in various areas must be remedied to adequately address the issue of unemployment in Grenada.
The government could only employ so many people. That's the reality. And so it is important that our economy is grown in such a manner that it can absorb the unemployed, and that we can create new jobs and create new avenues for persons to get employment. We also have to address the underemployment situation because in many instances there are jobs, but our people don't have the skill set to take those jobs, and that therefore means our skills training, our education system clearly has to be, in some cases, revolutionized if we are able to capitalize on the opportunities that are available in Grenada.
In a recent GIS interview, the one-year-old leader went on to say that our educational system plays a key role in addressing skills training as the gateway for preparing the future workforce.
Is our education system producing sufficient people who have that skill set? I don't think so. Do students actually know these jobs exist and know what is required in order for them to be able to fill those jobs, and jobs that I think they can fill at a relatively young age? I don't think so. So we definitely have to address the relationship between the job market, what the economy, the skills the economy requires, and what we are doing in our education system, and the almost total absence of a dedicated skills training centers that are government funded or government operated throughout the island. So that is one area that we definitely need to tackle.
Motivating people to become successful entrepreneurs by not just providing financial assistance, but also how to manage finances is important, says the Prime Minister.
It's multifaceted, it's wide-ranging, and I think we recognize that it is not an immediate fix, but an ongoing situation. The other thing I would say is that our people have to also accept that, you don't need to have a job for life. You could lose your job, retool, reskill, and get another job. And so one of the things that I think our education system has to factor in is the ability to retrain adults who might have had a 20-year career, for example, in the tourism. You could be 40 and have spent 20 years working in a hotel. And if for some reason the hotel goes under or it's challenged by, say, COVID-19 type situation, we should be in a position where we can reskill and retool our people so that they find employment in other industries that are growing. And I think that is part of what we have to.
Rena Thomas, GBN News.
The Ministry of Education has identified a need for more technical and vocational skills training. However, it isn't to target those who are not academically inclined. Details in this report. Following the decision by the Ministry of Education to award secondary school placement to every child who attempted the 2023 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment Exam, questions were raised about the possibility of altering school curriculums to include more technical and vocational subject areas. Minister of Education David Andrew addressed the need for technical and vocational education during government's town hall meeting on Thursday at the Grenville Secondary School. However, he urged Grenadians to stop looking at technical and vocational skills education as an alternative to academics.
One of the things I want to challenge you on is the way we've talked about and promoted technical education and skills education. We've looked at it as a people over the years, even within education circles, as something that you undertake when you cannot do math, when you cannot do English. Well, he's not so bright. He's not academically inclined, so let him take a skill. That's how we viewed it. I am opposed to that view. In fact, I despise hearing people say those who are not academically inclined.
While some schools already include technical and vocational skills training in their curriculum, the Education Minister announced collaborations to introduce it to a wider cross-section of schools across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
We recognize that technologies are extremely critical for this day and age and educating people in this day and age. And so we've collaborated with a provider to provide coding services, coding and technology training to students in secondary schools, selected secondary schools across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Then we'll talk about the TVET expansion policy. Recently you heard that the cabinet approved our TVET strategy and policy. Now, technical and vocational education and training talks about all of the skills that are required to deal with the various projects, the various things that we have to do across our country. And the truth is there's been a major gap between what we produce in our school system and what is required in the world of work. The TVET policy seeks to bridge that gap and provide recommendations to bridge those gaps.
This will be done through the Grenada Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, an advisory body to the Minister of Education on policies, strategies, and programs for the management of technical and vocational education and training. Activities to mark Media Week 2023 continued Friday with a visit to the Sister Isles. A hash starting at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday at the Lassages playing field, followed by a panel discussion on Monday evening on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program, will bring the curtains down on the week of activities. Media Week 2023 began on Sunday, June 18th, with a church service at the St. George's Baptist Church under the theme, a focus on the education and health of media workers. Pastor Paul pronounced God's blessings over the week of activities and urged those in the profession to uphold their integrity against all odds. He encouraged them to carry out their duties without fear or favor. On Monday, June 19th, members virtually and in person attended a training session at the Parliament building with a focus on parliamentary procedures aimed at educating media workers to improve the quality of news reports produced on parliamentary developments. On Wednesday, members of the executive presented the Ministry of Social Development with school supplies to be distributed to beneficiaries of the parenting program and other similar programs within the ministry. Making the presentation to the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Ms. Veronica Charles, was President Jared Joseph, Treasurer Sophia Phillip, and Secretary Tonia St. Louis Lawrence. President Joseph stated that the presentation of school supplies is in keeping with this year's theme of education, as the association strives to improve the capacity of its members. Mother Nature takes center stage. It's time to take a peek through the GBN ISAW lens. Adverse weather conditions felt across Grenada on Friday resulted in a river overflowing its banks in one northern community. A resident in the hills of Munlung submitted footage of a surge of water rapidly flowing down the river, climbing its banks. The citizen journalist said the river originated from the hills in Fedon Camp, under which the village nestles. Thank our citizen journalist for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Grill Master. Now available. Grill Master Takeaway. Healthy choices of dinner is available every day from 5 p.m. A solution to end your day with healthy, hot meals. Are you tired of fried, greasy foods, junk food, high-calorie food before bed, leading to a bad night and sleep? Grill Master brings the solution for you by offering customized, hot, fresh, healthy grilled food sustainable for after workout, your keto diet, and those who love greens. Let your last meal be your next day fresh start. Grill Master is second to none. Advance your order for pickup or delivery at 439-3737 or our WhatsApp number at 1-473-423-3737. Grill Master, second to none.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emerald International. Bring home more than a memory.
Important announcement for CIBC First Caribbean customers. Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited invites prospective customers to collect their debit and credit cards, checkbooks, night depository keys and bags, and deposit books at its distribution center located at the GV Steel Conference Room, number 14 Church Street, St. George's. The center will be open from June 19th to July 8th, 2023, operating from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Mondays to Fridays, and and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. You will be required to present a valid photo ID for collection. To avoid any delay in your service, we encourage you to visit Co-op Bank's distribution center at your earliest convenience between June 19th and July 8th, 2023. We look forward to welcoming you home. At the NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivor's benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
Grenada Community Partnership Initiative. One of the things that GND Schools Incorporated, as a nonprofit organization, what we do, we give a wonderful gift of a library to primary schools. To date, we have given 25 libraries away, and we are building the 26th in partnership with the Grenada Community Partnership Initiative. We are building in Dover even as I speak. Our library design has been impacted by COVID-19. We are changing the design. We always nice it up. We always change it around. We always ensure that when we give the 23rd school a library, it doesn't look exactly like the first 10. And now that we reach number 26, we are looking at more standalone single seating. We've changed that model. We've also changed some of the actual physical accessories in the library, and we are also looking at new prototypes, different prototypes of furniture to make our libraries dynamic and ever-changing and vibrant. It is the second grant that we would have got from Grenada Community Partnership Initiative, and we're really, really thankful to Grenada for that. We were able to build a 625 square foot library at the Calais Government School, and now we are so very grateful that we are doing the same thing in Carriacou at Dover. Grenada, energizing our community.
right, good morning. Welcome to this segment of the conversation for today, the 26th day of June. And as I told you earlier, we've got a jam cram program this morning, because with me in the studio and also via our Zoom platform are representatives from the St. George's SDA Primary School, and they are celebrating a milestone, 50 years of providing educational and much more services to the community of Archibald Avenue and its expanse. So with me in the studio this morning is a present teacher, Mrs. Allison Prince, and also Mr. Samuel Bonaparte. He is a past student, and via our Zoom platform is a past teacher, as a matter of fact, one of the founding teachers, Mr. Joel Hypolite. So it's a good time to say good morning to all our guests. Good morning to ladies first. That's what they usually say, right? Good morning, Mrs. Sainz.
Yes, good morning, sir. I'm pleased to be here this morning.
Okay. Mr.
Bonaparte.
Bonaparte, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
And Mr. Hypolite, the man himself. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Host.
All right.
And good morning to all of your listeners in Radio Land.
Right.
We're really excited to be here this morning with you.
Good to have you as well. Now, looking at what I've got before me, 50 years, that's quite an accomplishment, an achievement for any institution in this dispensation. So you're one of the founding members, one of the first teachers of the school when the school opened up 50 years ago. As a matter of fact, I was hinted that you taught one of my guests in studio with me this morning.
Both of us.
Yeah, both of you. Okay. So give us a backdrop as to, the early years, the formative years of the institution. What was it like? Whose idea was it to come up with a school, and what was it like?
Well, basically, it was the brainchild of one of the pastors that served in the Southern District. He served in the Archibald Avenue Church and to a certain extent in the other parishes. But it was his idea that a school be established, in the what we refer to as the basement of the school, or the lower floor of the church, of the existing church.
Church, okay.
And it was an idea at first that it was an exciting time. However, there were a little bit of pushback in certain quarters. But altogether, I think everyone was sold on the idea once they got to understand exactly the purpose for which the institution would serve.
And 50 years ago, the whole environment would have been different. What was it like in comparison to our education system now? What was it like then?
Well, I think it was kind of easy to navigate, given the fact that there weren't that many, complications surrounding education. And when I say complications now, I mean like regulations and all the kind of, good stuff.
Okay.
But so one of the things that really concerned us was the fact that the school was going to be established in the lower floor of a church. And not only that, but in a residential area with a school that was well established right down the hill, boys' school.
Okay.
So we faced an inevitable set of competitive factors, surrounding the establishment. But I think once the people, the residents realized that what the school was going to be about, and when we settled in, I think people sort of calmed down and maybe fall in line with what was going on. Yeah.
Looking back 50 years now, are you proud of the accomplishments and achievements of the institution? 50 years?
Of course, for one thing is the fact that the school continues to do extremely well, not only in the the service of educating kids from all over, but also the fact that it serves as a kind of beacon of light, an example to to the rest of the community in that era. And also the fact that children from the former students of our school, they usually get well placed, and not only well placed, but they in their service wherever they are, as be it a doctor, a politician, whatever it is, they serve well, and they serve as examples to the other people that are associated to them. And
do you think it's fair to say that this sort of performance that they give in their adult life is a testimony to the moral contributions that were made, not just academical, but the holistic moral approach to teaching?
Well, of course, because if you look at the motto of the school itself, it says a Christ-centered education. And that speaks for itself. The focus of education is not only to create, academic, good standing and produce scholars and all that, but the whole focus of education is to prepare, students for life now, to be able to take their place in society and serve well, and also to prepare them for the life that they would be, enjoying in heaven, in eternity, as it were. So hence we say a Christ-centered education.
Congratulations on a job well done. Now, stay right there. We'll get back to you. Let me interact with my in-house guest, the lady first. Now, you heard your former teacher talk, and you're a past student, and you're currently a teacher at the institution. Give us your experience from that student phase and moving up, your transitions throughout other aspects of life, and then coming back to serve in the institution that molded you. What was it like?
Yeah, I'm thankful for the opportunity to have attended St. George's Seventh-day Adventist Primary School. Actually, I was a student of another school, and that school was really just like 3 houses away from me. And when the call came for the school was starting, and the call came for the establishment of this school, and my parents learned that this is a Christ-centered education and Seventh-day Adventist education. You're a Seventh-day Adventist, you need to. They took me out from a school 3 houses away from my home.
Where you could have woken up.
Yeah, I could just walk up anytime and send me all the way down. Actually, I lived in Montjulu, and so I had to walk all the way down to Archibald Avenue to school. So it was, quite an experience. My first teacher there was Miss Moore, and she was a gentle soul. She was at the time the acting principal of the school, and she was deputy, because by then she had finished acting, and so she was the deputy principal of the school. And she was a gentle, thorough person, very calm, and she didn't lift her voice at anyone, So I came into an environment that was really receptive. At the time, Miss Winifred Granger, the well-known Master Blaster, Miss Winifred Granger, who would have taught in schools like Wesley Hall and so before, and taught some of the great men, like Morris Bishop, and so she was then the principal of the school. And I grew up in an environment there where there was a lot of singing, choirs. Ms. Granger was known for choirs and concerts, and discipline. You had to be, once Ms. Granger stepped out, we had to be quiet. They would say an angel pass, everybody was really quiet.
Yeah.
So I grew up in an environment where we were trained to, vocabulary, and we had to be well spoken, and we had to reverence God. Spiritual development of the children is very strong. We had assemblies that promoted Christ at all times. As Mr. Hypolite referred to, the Christ-centered education was very strong in the school. We had baptisms after Bible study. You had these, you had what's called Children's Day, and leading up to Children's Day, they would prepare us to give our heart to the Lord. And so we were brought up in that. As a matter of fact, I was baptized through that, to the school. And so our children didn't only learn at the school, we didn't only learn academics. We were not drilled just to pass the common entrance. You know, at the time, we were prepared for life. And that's why when we take our place in society, we are well fit and prepared. And now as a teacher, after I've been there for 30 years, I've been teaching.
You've been teaching there 30 years?
Yes,
wow.
correct. Yeah.
Wow, that's a wow moment.
That's a wow moment, yes. It's time to retire now.
No.
Yes.
Why retire?
I know.
Yeah.
So after 30 years now and several different experiences, I have learned a lot and I've been able to share a lot. And I took a lot that I learned from principals before me and the entire, because I grew up in the environment. I went to church there. I went to school there.
So that's like home.
So, yes. You know, and then I come back and work there.
Yeah.
So it's there. So everything that I basically know, I owe it to St. George's SDA School. And it's amazing as to how our students come out and represent highly head boys, head girls, you know. They have leadership roles wherever they go, in debates, when they go out, when we used to have the school debates, you would find among the leaders a student from St. George's SDA Primary School. So, and I'm happy to know that we have come out and we have taken our place, that we have made choices that are not correct sometimes, and you know,
that's human.
Yes,
right?
you know, we made human. Some choices, but one of the things that we go back to is what we were molded in at the school. They will always remember something from the school, and they would always, I mean, one teacher told me that, you know, one boy who gave so much trouble in school will jump out of his car anytime and he would stop and give her a hug, you know, and though he gets in trouble sometimes, but they appreciate what we would have taught them at the school, just and how it has changed their lives.
That's remarkable. Now, Mr. Bonaparte, you're a past student, unlike Miss Hines.
Miss Prince.
Miss Prince, rather. Miss Prince. You did not teach there, but what was your experience like as a student of the St. George's SDA School?
Wonderful. The memories, you cherish them up to this day. In my case, I was a transfer in. I was at the Montrose SDA Primary School. In 1981, my family moved to reside at Belmont. So they transferred us in, my brother and I, to St. George's SDA Primary School. The thing is that we came in at January. I distinctly remember that. And, you know, normally that time, the September period, is when children normally would be enrolled in school and so. But the principal at that time, Miss Winifred Granger, I remember she making special accommodation for us coming in the January time. I remember the first day of school, very, very nervous coming into that new environment. You know, back in those days, they used to tease the children from the northern part. They call it country bookie. Yeah, but we made friends from that very first day. And up to this day, 40 plus years after, we're still best of friends. The experience of that school, what I remember was the diverse programs of the school. It was not just basically academic, and so we got involved in the choir, a lot of singing, as Mrs. Prince said, the concerts, and so the school environment, because maybe of the limited space the school is housed downstairs at church, so it's not expansive school, or it's not that big, I would say. So we had a close connection, everybody knew each other and so forth. Miss Granger always seemed to have something up her sleeve in terms of different activities, and so we interacted. I remember on more than one occasion the Governor General visited the school. We interacted with him. That was one of the highlights I remember from the school period. You know, he lived just up the hill there, the Governor General resident was Sir Paul Schoon at the time, and lots more memories.
Too many to mention. Now, Mr. I'm trying to remember. Mr. Hypolite. 50 years. That's the milestone. What plans? What are the plans for going forward? Projections in terms of the next 50 years.
Well, we are hoping that the school will continue to grow and influence the community. In the first place, we need to remember that the school, when it was established, served like Tempe, Archibald Avenue, Munjaloo, as far as the parish of St. David, Wester Hall, Grand Roy, Cherry Hill, all of the environs, Tempe and so on. So we're hoping that the influence that was established would continue to be spread all over Grenada. Because what we'd like is that when folks walk through or visit or hear about the school, what would come to mind is excellence and the ability to deliver wherever they find themselves. So looking down the road, my hope too is that a building can be erected to house the school. It's been something that's been on my mind for a long time. I don't know what plans there are for such an institution to be established, but I think it is really the right time right now to make sure that a building is erected so that we can have a crowning act, as it were, like a finished product for to the glory of God and to the to sort of serve the community to a larger extent.
Okay. 50 years, what are the plans? What that's supposed to be a big celebration. What are the celebratory plans?
Right. So 50 years is a milestone. Not many of us during our lifetime will get to celebrate 50 years. Those occasions come once a year. I say once a year, once in a lifetime. The past students of the school who I represent here this morning, led by Con Lawrence, he resides in the U.S., he got inspired and started an initiative to get in contact with the past students of the school. He felt that he should give back to the school. And at that point, persons like Margaret, Francis, Mr. Hypolite, who is on, they got together and we've been reaching out on Facebook. As a matter of fact, we have about 600 plus members, past students on Facebook that we interact with directly. So we're doing it. We are planning in conjunction. It's a collaborative effort with the current teachers and children at the school to put on a grand celebration. We invited the children at the school to come up with a theme to celebrate the occasion, and based on the submissions, we selected one by a grade 6 student by the name of Nathan Fraser. He came up with celebrating 50 with values lasting throughout eternity.
Repeat that, I like that.
Celebrating 50 with values lasting throughout eternity.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
A grade 6 student.
Grade 6 student graduating.
That in itself is evident of the quality of work that is being done with the students, and therefore a grade 6 student to come up with a theme like that, it's it speaks volumes.
Yeah. So we are using that theme to it will be a theme throughout the program. What we have planned. Now, we would celebrate this grand occasion during the course of 2 weeks, starting on the 27th of August to the 11th of September. So we're going to start off with, on the 27th of August, it's a Sunday, we're inviting all the past students of the school to be down at Roy St. John, well, formerly Tantin playing field. There we're going to have sporting activities. We deemed it a fun day / meet and greet. So students, the students now, you're not aware, you don't know students who were there from the start of the early 70s or the 80s, 90s, and so we would want all to participate. We know the school has produced good athletes throughout the years, so we'd like to have them. Even though you were not an athlete in your time, it's an opportunity to come and run and show off your skill. At the last last sport meeting of the school earlier this year, the Minister of Sports, Honorable Ron Redhead, he's also a past student, and I saw him come and run. So I guess I'm sending out an invitation for him. Yeah,
could run.
He tried.
Well, he run and he won his seat. So that means he's athletic.
But on the track, he placed second. He was defeated by a good student, a good athlete. So he sure he has something in him. Okay. Right. Then on the Wednesday, that would be the 30th, we're looking to have a concert. The school, as Mrs. Prince says, had children. We were exposed to concerts and so. And maybe you left school years ago and you have developed a talent. So it's your time to display it on that concert night, the Wednesday night. Then we have the Sunday. I think the Sunday would be 3rd of September. We're having a beach outing. We're looking to have it at BBC Beach. We're going to cook and so, maybe the oil down and the skill, the cooking skill that you have developed over the last years, come and display it. That's on the Wednesday. We're looking to have a special church service. It would be when the school recommences the September period, the 9th of September. Over the years at the school, we'll have what we call the Children's Day, where the children of the school would lead out in a church service at the St. George's S.A. Archibald Avenue Church. That has been the home church of the school over the years. So we're having a very special service on that day. We're going to also have a gala event, a formal gala event where we're inviting all the students to come, interact, sit, dine, exchange experiences over the years and so forth. So that in a nutshell is what we have.
Celebration.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, 50 years. It's worthy of a grand celebration, and your work throughout the years is evident in the quality of students and adults that are, coming out from the institution. So, is there anything you want to add in wrapping up?
Well, yes. It's really beautiful to have this opportunity for a reunion because we have teachers. So many teachers would have come through the school from the first generation, from the time the school started. We have lost some teachers, because some of them have passed. They went to sleep, but others are still around, and it will be a good opportunity for the past students and teachers and the generations that didn't meet to come together. And so I just want to continue to commend the staff and students and all those who are associated with the school, and I want to commend the past pupils as well for the initiative that they have taken to resurrect this opportunity for us to meet. One person said to me, we do not promote competition, but we promote cooperation in the school. And I have seen that over the years. So this is an opportunity for cooperation, for working together. It's all voluntary. And so we'd invite everyone else who, wants to come on board. And the school always would welcome any support that people can give. We do have clubs in the school, which is a really dynamic event. Every Wednesday evening you see children in their various uniforms. You would see the yellow, the Red Cross. We have the Bible Club. We also have the Adventurer Club, and we have choirs, we have music, we have all the different things that really help children to lay a foundation so that they can go on. And the spiritual development of the school is really, really at our forefront, so that when children leave the school, they are prepared to serve on earth and to serve in eternity.
Mr. Hypolite, wrapping up.
Well, I just want to, first of all, extend, sincere thanks to you for accommodating us on your program. I didn't get your name.
Gordon Joseph.
Gordon Joseph, thank you. Well, we certainly appreciate the slot that you give to us. And I want to personally extend an invitation to all your listeners who have been part of the school, associated with the school, grandchildren, children, whoever it is, who have been associated to the school in one way or the other. we are extending an invitation to you to be part of the celebration of our golden anniversary, and that we look forward to seeing each of you. If you do not recognize, somebody, we want you to make sure you make contact so that you can continue to be in touch with them. Again, thank you very much, and we look forward to great things happening for the 50th anniversary and also down the line for the school as it continues to progress and shine in the community of Archibald Avenue and St. George's to a large extent.
Well, I'd like to take the opportunity and thank you all for sharing such a wonderful opportunity with us. So 50 years, and wish you all the best, and anything that the GBN can do to aid in the success of that celebrations, don't be afraid, reach out to us, we will accommodate.
Yeah, I just want to add that we have a phone number that persons can call. You can also WhatsApp. It's 415-6945. You can find out, you can get more information. And we also inviting persons, past students and so to make contributions, almost anything these days, there's costs involved, events planned. So we'd like you to contribute. You can call this number, leave a message, and we'll respond to you. Also, I want to say special thanks to Janelle McDonald. She is a past student for accommodating us, helping facilitating us in the program this morning. And the past students led by Con Lawrence, who resides in the U.S. The initiative to get the past students involved, making contributions and so to the school, is really led by past students who are in the diaspora, and I want to commend them. Persons like Margaret Francis, Mr. Hypolite, who is on as a past teacher. They are thousands of miles away from Grenada, but they remember Grenada, they remember the past school. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, folks. We've been speaking there with representatives from the St. George's Seventh-day Adventist School, and they're celebrating 50 years. In any way that you can support them, you've heard the list of activities for the celebrations. Be a part of it and give them your support. That's it for this segment. We take a commercial break and we'll be back. Thank you again, folks, for gracing us with your presence this morning.
Thank you.
Enjoy the cold.
Have a great day, everyone.
Okay, good. Bye-bye. Folks, we'll take a commercial break. We'll be back. When we get back, we have a representative from the Grenada Bar Association as they celebrate a Law Week. We'll be back after these messages.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wiring accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
an LED. They get on us, Lord. Grenada had the best mass by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Grenada had the best mass by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Watch mass and watch Bacchanal, soca gone international. That's going around the globe, soca not just for carnival. Watch mass and watch Bacchanal, soca gone international. That's going around the globe.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Alright, welcome back viewers and listeners to the conversation. It's 15 minutes on to 8 o'clock, and as you can see, as I told you, this morning is going to be very busy, and I've lived up to that. I've got with me in the studio representatives from the Grenada Bar Association. To my immediate right is the current president. I usually call him the Honorable Derick Sylvester, and to his immediate right is another honorable gentleman, Mr. Francis K. Paul, the deputy president of the Grenada Bar Association. Gentlemen, good morning, welcome.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having us.
Good morning, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
You're the better singer, your voice, I could hit the voice, so you just choose not to use the singing voice this morning.
I'm better at speaking.
All right, well, this is a customary thing with Derick. He's always here with us here in the GBN, especially at this occasion, but the time is really going quick because not so long ago we were here.
Yeah, it was only last year June around this time.
Yeah, you know, and we're celebrating Law Week. As a matter of fact, Law Week 2023 commenced yesterday. And what are the activities you guys have planned for this week?
Yeah. But first, I think it's important to explain to the public that as part of our mandate, we have a statutory responsibility to not only educate the public, but to have certain social activities, and to bring to the attention of the public new laws that have been passed, and to ensure that there is a relationship with the bar, so lawyers aren't seen as an aloof sect. But if you would permit me, I would just briefly indicate to the public what is our mandate, because the public would better understand exactly what you're supposed to be doing. What you're supposed to do. We have a responsibility to maintain and improve the standard and conduct of the members of the legal profession, represent and protect the interest of the legal profession in Grenada, promote, maintain, and support the administration of justice and the rule of law, provide ongoing public education programs on basic issues of law and current legislations, and do all things incidental thereto. So as part of our mandate, what we've done since 2001 is have what is called Law Week. we start with a church service on Sunday, and this year this is what we will be doing. So today is what we refer to as Media Day.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll have the school visits and the prison visits. On Wednesday, I believe, we would have the mooting competition.
No, pro bono.
Pro bono
day.
Right. Pro bono day on Wednesday. On Thursday, we'd have the mooting competition, where annually we have students from TAMCC. They give them a fact pattern, they appear in court, and they argue before a judge, a real sitting judge, and thereafter he rules on the matter and guide them accordingly. Most times, persons from that mooting competition would go on to study law. You know, I've seen it happen. There are persons now who are in university studying law who are a product of that mooting competition. On Friday we have the social, and on Saturday we have a yoga exercise. Okay. So we're trying as a bar to be out there to educate the public and to let them know exactly what we're doing, and we're not all about just going to court.
Okay, much more than that.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul,
I want to simplify it, right? Because Mr. Sylvester just read out the law and the purpose of the association. But a lot of people out there, the public, right, don't understand. When you say Grenada Bar Association, they ask you, what is that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bar.
It sounds like drinkers.
It's exactly.
Why the bar? Why that name though? As a matter of fact, that's a very good point. Why was it called the Bar Association? Because we have the Grenada Bar Association, we have the regional bar association.
Because crossing the bar, normally what you do after you complete your law degree, after you complete your LLB, if you don't mind me explaining.
Go ahead.
After your 2 years, where you would have gone into the Hypolite Law School or whichever law school, after you complete that exam, it is referred to as crossing the bar. So crossing the bar doesn't necessarily mean drink, because you know a bar could be a lever where you have to actually cross. Uh-huh. So it's more than just it has nothing to do with drinking.
Yeah.
I remember the 1 year this was a common entrance question. What does the Grenada Bar Association deals with? Is it alcohol, lawyers, and there's another question. I remember that specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me go back now. It was an old English custom where you have the Inns of Court, and there was a bar that divided the lawyers from, I think, the non-lawyers or the readers. So that's where you have the bar. It was an actual bar.
A separation.
A separation to divide in the Inns of Court to divide the lawyers from
the regulars.
Yes. Okay. The regulars.
I'm happy you explained that, because it's a question that was always buzzing in my head. Why is it called the Bar Association? But I never came forward to really get that clarification. So now I understand it was actually a bar to separate the legal minds from the ordinary minds.
Right. In the Inns of Court. So, folks would ask, where's the Bar Association? Just to simplify it, it's a body, the body of lawyers. And you have the Medical Association. To put it simply, you might have the Bikers Association.
Yeah, the Teachers Association.
The Teachers Association.
Okay. So, but it's not, in that case, it's not called the Lawyers Association.
It's called the Bar Association.
Now, how effective has the Bar Association been in terms of executing and staying on course with its mandate in the Grenada jurisdiction?
Well, first, we cannot speak about the Bar Association if we do not speak about Douglas Ferguson, because he has been the driving force behind the bar. Since 2001, as I indicated earlier, that was when the bar actually started its mandate, even before the passing of the Legal Profession Act. So annually, you would have that week of activities, and not only that, we also have what is referred to as the Sir Archibald Ned Lecture, where we actually bring in someone every year. Sometimes it's someone locally, sometimes it's someone from overseas. Last year we had Dame Janice Perrer, our Chief Justice. This year we are trying to source someone. So we do that annually as a means of educating the public, edifying the public, and at least notifying them that, listen, the bar is not all about just lawyers going to court and making money, because there's a perception that we just stay in our office. But we would like the public to know that it is more than just that.
Okay, because as a matter of fact, one of your activities within this week is a visit to the prison.
Yes, prisons and school visits. That would be tomorrow, I think.
Now, what is the intent of the visit to the prison?
Generally, what we do, there are occasions when we donate stuff to the prisons. We'd have a complete prison visits. We may make recommendations to the Commissioner of Prisons. So there are different things that we would do. We'd speak to prisoners, see what their concerns are, see what recommendations that we could make. But that is what it is. It's really trying to improve on our society in one way or the other.
Okay.
And the school visits now is to sensitize, educate the youth.
It's a recruitment process, recruiting younger lawyers.
You can say so. It's twofold, but the main driving force is to sensitize the youth, educate them on the law.
Right. In Grenada, in recent times, this morning I was reading it in the news. We have 11 homicides already for the year. From the Bar Association's perspective, is that alarming? Is that a concern for you all?
Well, it is always a concern when society seems to descend into whatever level of criminality. And you see, what I normally do, and I normally say to the public, I say to my clients privately, that one, it takes a society to raise a child. We all must be our brother's keeper. So, for example, if you know that your nephew have an issue with someone, your brother he has an issue with someone, speak to them, report it to the police, and try to resolve those issues. Don't turn your back. Because turning your back may very well result in violence. And most occasions, these crimes are they're not premeditated. Something happened at the spur of the moment, or there are occasions where somebody keeps something in their mind and they wait for the appropriate occasion. Yeah. And I'm saying we need to go back to that time when we lived, whereby we were each other's keeper.
The village raised the child.
Every society would know who has an issue with someone and try to bring the parties together. Get your spiritual leader involved, get some senior teacher involved, get the police involved. There are so much organizations that you could actually speak to deal with those issues, and don't wait until it escalates.
Good. What's your take on that?
Ministry of Social Development.
Okay.
That's my take. It's a social issue. You have to start from the ground. You have to start even from the preschool stage. Right. So that children are ingrained, how to treat each other, conflict resolution.
Well,
I think that's the base of the problem.
Uh-huh. Only last week I was saying on the program here that the current administration is high on transformation, and we're seeing a lot of physical transformation, but I made that call that transformation of the mindset of the villagers and so forth, people in general. I would like to see more of that being done, reaching out into the communities, hearing the concerns of the populace, and putting transformational mechanism in place to deal with it, because as you rightfully say, people have differences of opinions and so on. Mm-hmm. Not every time I get vexed, somebody's supposed to die. So we need to have that sort of transformational approach for that aspect of life as well. That's my take.
Yes. You see, my position has always been that government can't do everything for us. Sometimes we depend on government to do too much for us. We as a people, we have to make a conscious decision and decide, listen, when you go to church now, how many persons do you see at church?
Well, the one that I go to is usually filled.
Well, not mine. Mostly you see elderly people and you see females.
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to have more. The younger generation must understand and appreciate that there's a spiritual element to your existence. Not only a financial element.
I'm happy that you're saying that.
To your existence.
Because some folks are of the opinion that lawyers don't believe in God.
Well, that is, and that is a fallacy. Because they must understand and appreciate that we all come from this very same society. So we didn't just drop from the sky. It's like a doctor. You went to university, you studied, and you probably have a passion for something, and you decide to come back and serve. So really, being an attorney is service. Being a doctor is service. Being a radio announcer is service. So we just serve in a different capacity.
Okay. All right. So law week. What would you say? Okay, what would happen during this week of activities that when the week is over, you can look back at it and say, yes, it was successful? What would you like to accomplish within the week?
You want to speak to them to go? Yeah. First, what I would love to see happen is that the public understand and appreciate more what we're doing. Secondly, that we educate the public. For example, I would like the public to utilize the pro bono day. At the Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic, we'd have a group of lawyers there, and the public is invited. That's on St. John Street to come, and attorneys would provide free legal services.
Pro bono is a legal vernacular. What does it mean?
It means
in layman's terms.
It means free.
Free. Okay. Okay.
No charge.
Okay.
So that's our Wednesday. So there are a lot of things that the public could take advantage of. But that is one that I would really like them to, because in the past we've had persons who would normally attend, but this year we're asking for much more. For example, this year at the church service we had approximately 40 attorneys. In the past, in the past we normally have a much smaller quantum. So I'm saying we have started off on a really good footing this week, and we'd like it to continue.
Okay.
So you see, we already reflecting.
Yes, I realize that.
Monday, we reflecting from Sunday. Started off with a bang.
Yeah, that's professional.
And look, we here today, so with another bang.
Yeah. Okay. Approximately how many practicing attorneys do we have in Grenada?
Approximately practicing in court, I would say at about 50. Okay. That's what I would think, but I believe we have a license to practice in Grenada. Both locals and non-locals would be maybe close to 100.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we almost out of time. What do you think we left out?
I don't think we left out anything. Just to ask the public to participate and all the activities that we have, and we'll be coming around in the schools. There are a few schools that we'll be attending, and hopefully we'll be able to engage with as much students as possible. Because they're the future.
I want to make a call based on the state of the mindset of our people. With as it relates to crime and crime in general, not just violence, but crime in general. Could the Bar Association be a little more media present? Ever so often just drop by and disseminate some information and stuff.
We're always open once we get an invitation.
Okay.
We'd always be willing to come and speak to the public, because we're not there to just wait for when something happens to react.
Yeah.
Many lawyers assist persons in their office and they don't even speak about it. They assist clients at no charge. They speak to them, they try to resolve issues, refer matter to mediation, refer matters to the police. So we do a lot, just that we don't speak about it.
Okay.
Daily. Even in court.
Yes.
At times, folks meet me and ask me, "Are you the lawyer?"
Yeah.
And I would say sometimes no. Like, you remember you assisted me 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Sylvester, most of the criminal lawyers, we go to court, we would see someone, we see the situation, and we assist.
Pro bono.
Pro bono.
Yeah.
Don't know them for madam.
Yeah. And that's what it's, it's not just about being a lawyer, but first you're a human. So humanity has to intercept sometime.
And because our society is so small, Gordon, everyone knows everyone. Everyone's interconnected or interrelated in some way. It is difficult to be at a particular place you're a professional and you could assist and you would not assist.
Yeah.
Particularly the younger ones, those that just pass the threshold into adulthood.
Yeah.
So you have 19-year-olds still young, but they don't fall under the Juvenile Act.
Yeah.
They pass 18.
Right.
And you see them threading down that path that would affect their future. You assist.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you very much for dropping by, and like I said, I'm going to try to find a way to have a legal mind with me ever so often to,
Phone call away.
Yeah.
Phone call away.
Just a phone call. That's a good thing about Derick. Derick and I are just a phone call away. Mr. Paul used to be my good friend too,
I'm still your good friend.
First interaction was where? GDB or something?
When I used to be at GBC.
GBC, okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Gentlemen, thanks again, and I wish you all the best for the Law Week, and not just for Law Week, but as you continue practicing this noble profession. I know that the both of you at leadership you will mandate that, you know, your members execute their duties with professionalism and so forth. So thank you, and the GBN is always ready and available to accommodate anytime that you need to get any information out. And we look forward to forging a partnership to educating the people generally.
Absolutely.
Thank you for dropping by as usual.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All the time. Folks, this is where we got to wrap it because, you know, we've got the BBC to come, but I've been speaking there with the president of the Grenada Bar Association, Mr. Derick Sylvester, and the deputy president, Mr. Francis K. Paul. And that's it for the conversation this morning. Thank you for being a part of it. We look forward to another engagement tomorrow should the good Lord spare our lives. The BBC is up next. Don't you go anywhere.